Hello, and welcome to the Essential Reads. My name is Isaac, and it's Fairy Tale Fridays for the first Friday in a couple of weeks. As you can tell, I am in a new space. There is a very close ceiling above me, because I'm tall, and I'm on a mezzanine. I don't know what that is in English. Mezzanine. But I've now filled out my studio, and I've got sound panels just here, and here, right behind me, that I built, that were actually, apart from the labour time, very inexpensive, which is great. Like maybe €300 total, which is brilliant for what they are and how much nicer the crisp audio quality now is. But I thought we'd dive in with a tale that a lot of us have heard of, at the very least, especially if you've seen Shrek 2. The Frog Prince by the Brothers Grimm. So, let's dive in and let's test out my new studio. The Frog Prince by the Brothers Grimm. Once upon a time, there was a king who had 3 daughters, and in his courtyard there was a well with beautiful, clear water. On a hot summer's day, the eldest daughter went down to the well and scooped out a glassful of water. However, when she looked at it and held it up to the sun, she saw that the water was murky. She found this very unusual and wanted to scoop out another glass when a frog stirred in the water, stuck his head up high, and finally jumped onto the edge of the well, where he spoke. "If you'll be my sweetheart, my dear, I'll give you water clearer than clear." "Oh, who'd ever want to be a nasty frog's sweetheart?" she cried out and ran away. And then she told her sisters that there was an odd frog down at the well that made the water murky. The second sister became curious, and so she went down to the well and scooped a glass of water for herself. But it was just as murky as her sister's glass, so that she wasn't able to drink it. Once again, however, the frog was on the edge of the well and said, "If you'll be my sweetheart, my dear, I'll give you water clearer than clear." "Do you think that would suit me?" the princess replied, and ran away. Finally, the third sister went down, and things were no better. But when the frog spoke, "If you'll be my sweetheart, my dear, I'll give you water clearer than clear," she replied, "Yes, why not? I'll be your sweetheart. Get me some clean water." However, she thought, "That won't do any harm. I can speak to him just as I please. A dumb frog can never become my sweetheart." Meanwhile, the frog had jumped back into the water, and when she scooped some water a second time, it was so clear that the sun nearly gleamed with joy in the glass. Then she drank and quenched her thirst, and also brought her sisters some of the water. "Why were you so simple-minded and afraid of the frog?" she said to them. And afterwards, the princesses didn't think anything more about it, and went happily to bed. However, after she had been lying there for a while and couldn't fall asleep, she suddenly heard some scratching on the door, and then some singing. Open up, princess, youngest daughter. Don't you remember what you said when I sat on the well's water's edge? You wanted to be my sweetheart, my dear, and I gave you water clearer than clear." "Oh, that's my sweetheart, the frog," the princess said, "and since I gave him my word, I'll open the door." So she got out of bed, opened the door a little, and then lay back down on the bed. The frog hopped after her and jumped on the bed down by her feet and remained there. When that night was over and the morning dawned, the frog sprang off the bed and went out through the door. The next evening, when the princess was once again lying in bed, there was some scratching and singing at the door once more. The princess opened the door, and the frog lay in the bed at her feet until it turned day. On the third evening, the frog came just like he had done the previous evenings. "This is the last time that I'll open the door to you," the princess said to him. "In future, there will be no more of this." Then the frog jumped and crawled under her pillow. Then the frog jumped and crawled under her pillow, and the princess fell asleep. When she woke up the next morning, she thought the frog would hop off again. Instead, she saw a handsome young prince standing before her, and he told her that he had been the bewitched frog, and that she had saved him, because she had promised to be his sweetheart. And then the two of them went to the king, who gave them his blessing, and a wedding was held. Meanwhile, the other two sisters were angry with themselves, because they had not taken the frog to be their sweethearts. Thank you so very much for listening. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, share, all that jazz, and if you really enjoyed, do subscribe, because there is, finally, more to come. Let me know what you think about the audio quality. I don't really want to comment on that story, because a lot of the old fairy tales are weird. Don't accept random strangers, let alone frogs, into your bed. They shan't be princes, they'll probably just be frogs. The past is the worst, and I'll see you next Friday with another fairy tale. Once again, thank you for watching or listening wherever you are consuming this, and yeah, thanks. Bye-bye.